The biggest AI risks sit outside the model. Ben Lorica wrote the headline. The rest of the day wrote the proof. Every real story on this list, the phishing, the Spectre leak, the cracked watermark, the chip loophole, is a risk that has nothing to do with how smart the model is. 6 weeks ago, this run opened with an argument about the context around AI being the real work. It's fitting that on August 19 the month closes its loop with the exact same insight, stated from the risk side, and Ben Lorica handed it to you as a headline. The biggest AI risks sit outside the model. Read the rest of Wednesday's list, and you'll see every real story on it proving him right. This isn't a coincidence. It's the thesis finally fully assembled. Lorica's argument is the through line of everything we've tracked. The industry obsesses over model-level risk. Will it be too smart, too capable, too misaligned? While the risks that actually bite live in the surrounding system. The pipelines, the permissions, the infrastructure, the human processes, the gap between what a technology claims to be and what it is. Now watch the day's own news line up behind that sentence, one item at a time. The watermark story is the perfect miniature. Wired reported coders claiming quick fixes to strip Claude's new invisible watermarks, but dig into what's actually happening, and it's a masterclass in Lorica's point. Anthropic wove a statistical watermark into Claude's word choices, a synthed-style mark, not hidden characters. Within days, a market of removal tools appeared. Here's the catch. Most of those tools remove invisible Unicode characters, which is real cleanup, but a completely different thing from the actual watermark, which lives in the statistical pattern of word choice and can't be searched and deleted. So the removers are working on something that isn't the mark. Nobody outside Anthropic can even detect the real mark yet. The detector's still forthcoming, and users are paying to strip a watermark that their tool never touches. As one write-up put it, the gap between what people think the technology is and what it actually is turns out to be the whole story. That is Lorica's thesis in a single product cycle. The risk, the confusion, and the failure all sit outside the model, in the misunderstanding of the system around it. And the practical lesson for you is sharp. A watermark is not a security control. A remover is mostly theater, and provenance you don't understand is provenance you can't rely on. Don't build trust decisions on either side of a mechanism nobody can inspect. Now the rest of the list, each one an outside the model risk. Agentic AI is reshaping phishing, the hacker news. The threat isn't a smarter model, it's automated attackers operating at machine speed, and the lesson is defenders must automate too or fall behind. The risk lives in the speed asymmetry, not the intelligence. The Cloudflare workers' Spectre attack leaked JWTs at 12 bits per second, a hardware-level side channel, about as far outside the model as a risk can get, and a reminder that your AI runs on infrastructure with its own ancient vulnerabilities, fix already deployed. But the lesson stands. The U.S. targeting the cloud loophole in the NVIDIA chip export ban, CNBC, geopolitical risk routing around policy through cloud access, again nothing to do with model capability. And even the safety news fits. OpenAI halted frontier RL training for 2 weeks, the hacker news, and blamed a technical error for revoking researchers' cyberprogram access, TechCrunch. The failures are operational and procedural, in the harness and the process, exactly where this month kept finding them. Every single one. The pattern isn't subtle once Lorica names it. The one that ties risk to the money and closes another loop. Stripe's OpenRouter deal got its analysis TechCrunch framed exactly right. The payments giant is eyeing AI's money flow, not the singularity. That's Lorica's thesis in the business dimension. The durable value and the control sits in the infrastructure around the models, the routing, the billing, the toll booth, not in the models themselves. And OpenAI countered Anthropic with privacy-focused abuse monitoring, TechCrunch. The competition now playing out over how you monitor and govern model use, i.e., the system around the model, not the model's raw smarts. Even the frontier labs are competing on the outside layer now, which makes the day's data engineering items the constructive counterpart, because they're all about building that outside layer well. Snowflake's more model choice, smarter routing, is the routing layer thesis, stripe OpenRouter, arriving inside the warehouse. Pick the right model per task, govern it centrally. Starburst's data maintenance with Icehouse Lakehops, and Estuary's genuinely useful PostgreSQL replication slots. How to monitor, recover, and prevent WAL bloat are pure outside-the-model engineering, the unglamorous pipeline and storage work that determines whether your AI gets good data, which is the risk that actually sinks projects. And Simon Willison's Small Machine / Smallvim, a sandbox for running untrusted Python and JavaScript, is, on the day the whole list is about risks outside the model, exactly the right tool. Real, inspectable containment for untrusted code, which is what securing the system around the model concretely looks like. His pieces on conceptual integrity and counting lines of code, and a Jeremy Morrill quote round out a strong builder's day. The through line, one sentence. On August 19, Ben Lorica named the lesson of the entire month. The biggest AI risks sit outside the model, and the rest of the day proved it in miniature. From a watermark nobody can detect being removed by tools that don't touch it to phishing, to a hardware side channel, to a chip export loophole. Not one of the day's real risks had anything to do with how smart the model is. One thing to do today and to carry forward: internalize the reframe, because it changes where you spend your attention. Make a list of where you think your AI risk lives, then move every item one layer out. The model might hallucinate becomes, does my pipeline feed it correct context, and do I validate outputs? The model might be misused becomes, are my permissions scoped and my actions logged? This content is watermarked so it's safe to trust becomes, do I actually understand this provenance mechanism, or am I trusting a black box? Every real failure this month, every escape, every breach, every cracked safeguard happened in the system around the model, not inside it. That's where your controls belong too. The model is the part the vendor secures. The system around it is the part that's yours, and it's the part that will actually save you.